All right, everybody, welcome to Arcam. My name is Ryan. I'm your host, and today we have on our show a very special guest. I think this has been a long time coming, which is pretty cool. For most of you guys that probably know who this is, you've probably seen us debating and arguing with each other in Facebook comments. But this is my good friend Bob. Bob, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Uh, I'm Bobby, and I live in California. I went to high school with Ryan. Um, I'm a firefighter out here. It's been busy, but as you guys, if you're friends with Ryan on Facebook, you probably, or me, you've seen over the years, we often get into some pretty good debates. A lot of people, I think they're more heated than they actually are, but and which can be entertaining at times. But we're actually good friends, and we have a lot of respect for each other. And we stumbled on something kind of interesting about social media and the internet in general, and so we're kind of going to go into it today. It was a good opportunity to talk about some of the things that could possibly be swaying us in two completely different directions on a lot of topics, even though we agree on a lot of stuff. So you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think I'm definitely going to agree with that. It's probably the source of actually some of our debates is that social media, and this is something I kind of thought for a while now, is that social media's algorithms are, well, I mean, I know they are, and they've been rigged to kind of share to us data that's custom tailored to us, but in doing so, they're creating echo chambers where we're only seeing certain things and certain things that might incite maybe outrage on my end, maybe outrage on Bob's end, but they're putting us kind of diametrically opposed to one another and only feeding us information that's going to keep us, I guess, angry and in a state of conflict. And not in a state where we can kind of see the middle ground, which is, I think, part of the reason that we're doing this too, is to show that the what you see online, what you see on the internet, is not the whole picture. So, like, most people might think like me and you don't like each other, which is not true. But no, it's not true at all. I really enjoy the conversations that we have, even though they're heated. I enjoy them, but we also have done something that's kind of unique in the fact that you say stuff that sometimes I don't necessarily agree with. What I'm not doing is unfriending you, blocking you, or unfollowing you. I've allowed myself to continue to see the content that you shared, and likewise. And I think this has led to kind of some of the spirited discussions that we've had, and us not getting lost in these crazy echo chambers where we're only hearing our own point of view, our own worldview echoed back at us.
Completely
So
agree.
why don't you tell I guess the audience a little bit about this documentary that you put me onto?
Okay, so there's a documentary out on Netflix right now, and I know a lot of people are angry at Netflix for certain reasons. So some people won't watch it, but it's that kind of ties into what the documentary is about, in my opinion. Basically, the documentary is called "The Social Dilemma," and it interviews a bunch of Silicon Valley tech industry people that were CEOs and design presidents of Facebook and Google and designers, algorithm programmers, all this stuff. And so instead of just random people, these are the people that actually designed these programs, and they're talking about how these programs have gotten out of control in the name of doing what they were designed to do, which is push advertisements onto us. They've found out that the programs have taught themselves that the best way to do that is to give us content that's going to keep us clicking, regardless of whether that content is true or leads us in a certain direction and pushes us into a, what would you say, like if it pushes us into a certain way of thinking about a certain topic, whether that's damaging or not, it doesn't care. The algorithm only cares about feeding us more ads, keeping us clicking, keeping us using. It's a really good documentary. Ryan, you liked it? I
Yeah,
liked it.
I thought it was good, man. I did break my boycott from Netflix to watch it, but I did think it was good. And I was definitely interested to hear kind of what it's about because, you know, again, these are things that I kind of already had a feeling about, a hunch, a sneaking suspicion. I mean, just seeing some of this content that I'm fed myself, I'm like, man, like I just feel like this is not the only news I should be seeing. I feel like there's more out there. I feel like I'm missing part of the picture, and then so often we only see like a small window of the picture, and then other people like yourself have a completely different point of view, and I'm like, I, I can't just be blind, you know. There has to be more to this, and I think the documentary did a great way of explaining that, and also how it really does Facebook and social media does a incredible job keeping us glued.
Yes.
I think I actually did something. So in one of the scenes of the movie, there's this guy that decides to put away his phone. He doesn't want to use his phone for a week, I guess, is the agreement that him and his mom came to. And he's like drawn back to his phone, and the notifications are what sucks him back in. And
And
I
the
had
way
shut
the
my
notifications are
notifications
delivered.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shut them after watching it. I shut all my notifications off. Well, what do? I log on to Instagram. They're saying turn your notifications back on. Turn that, and why? Because they want us roped back in. They want us to keep scrolling. They want us to see that little 1 or 12 or whatever it is to
Or
get us back in.
even a blinking light on when your
Yep.
phone is screen is off. That blinking light, when people see that, a lot of like I know when I see that blinking light, I can't stop thinking about it till I've noticed it in myself, and it's gotten worse and worse over the years to where like I'm constantly looking at my phone, even though I really don't. Uh, if if something's important, they're probably gonna call me. You know what I mean? I just can't stop looking at it, and it talks about why that is and the psychological triggers that they use to, the biological triggers that they use to make that happen in us. It's really good documentary.
Yeah, they were comparing it to slot machines. Basically, the way the phones are designed in similar ways to as like slot machines to keep people on them, like they keep people gambling. So
Hmm.
it's an actual addiction, which is kind of crazy. And even me being off of social media for a month, I took my hiatus. I noticed that. I mean, that first week, my thumb just kept reflexively going to these apps. I'm like, man, the app's not. I had to install the app, but even after they were uninstalled, my thumb just kept going right back to it. I'm like, man, this is crazy. It's
And
wild.
and I think we all kind of knew that that was going on, and that's one aspect that the documentary goes into. But the difference with this documentary is it does a deep dive into what the effects that that is having on us, on our kids, on society as a whole, on different countries around the world that have been influenced by this uh, political competition, or what do you call it? Like people getting elections. That's what I meant to say. Sorry.
Yes,
And I'm not used to being on video the way you are, so.
that's all right, man.
um, but it's really good. And one of the things that it talks about, and this is a little experiment that Ryan and I have decided to do, is how different people, the algorithms know what you're into, what's going to keep you clicking, and they have gotten to the point where it's so bad that when you do a Google search, when Ryan and I type a question into Google, the hypothesis that we have is that it's going to give us some very different results based on our different search history and what the algorithms have decided to show us throughout our online lives over the
Yeah.
years, which is kind of scary if you think about it. When you're looking for facts and you go to Google, is it showing me facts, or is it just showing me what it thinks I want to see? And
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, or what it thinks are like our I guess we're more inclined to want to believe. So I'm just going to give him since Ryan has more conservative values. I'm going to feed him something that I think he's going to agree with more. Or if Bob, maybe you have more liberal values, it's going to feed you stuff that's going to cater toward that.
Right.
So we want to test this kind of live on air or in this video to kind of confirm. Or see what exactly happens when we do these test results. So I say let's get into it, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll just I guess I'll share my screen and I'll turn on the internet here.
Sounds good.
Where'd you go?
I do not know.
Hang on 1 second.
Into
I
the
just want to make
abyss.
sure that I can actually see you. There we go. Okay. So, okay, I'm on Google, and we're gonna type in. What do you want to type in first, Ryan?
Let's do the is climate change real?
Perfect. Is climate change real? Question mark.
Yep. Got the same thing.
Okay, so you guys should be able to see my results. Ryan's on his phone, so he's just going to kind of tell us what he's got. Um, but and you can see mine, right, Ryan?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got the evidence for rapid climate change is compelling, scientific consensus, NASA, climate change and global warming, 10 myths about climate change by the world. I don't know what this is. I don't want to click on it because I don't know what it actually is. WWF, which I think is the World Wildlife Foundation. 7 undeniable climate change facts by the Environmental Defense Foundation or Federation or something. Global warming.
So
Yeah. National
so
Geographic.
uh, dude, my results are not the same as when we initially did this.
Really?
Like they literally changed. It's not the same. Like the first article that's popping up wasn't the first article that's popping up before. So just so that you guys know, we just wanted to test at least one of these questions before we came on.
We tested
Uh,
this one.
and we tested this one and we had different results. But I'm not having different results now. They're the same.
Interesting.
Um,
I
with
wonder if it's possible that you got a different result because you didn't click on anything the first time. So, all right, that's all right. We've already asked this question and we got the same results. So it's an experiment. Let's try another question.
Yeah.
See what happens. That's what it's about. It's just really seeing if if it really is different for each of us. So, what do you think we should ask next?
Mm, let's do the is Donald Trump a racist?
Okay. Let's make sure we type in exactly the same. So, a racist.
Yep.
Make sure I actually
Question
spell
mark.
it right.
Yep.
Okay. I'm really have a feeling you're going to get some different results, but I don't know. You're looking at my screen. You tell me.
No, man.
Really?
Donald Trump's long history of racism, Trump's history of racism and reckoning it has forced. This is by the Atlantic. Then it's Wikipedia. Racial views of Donald Trump. Trump condemned racism as evil. Here are 20 who embraced it.
I don't see that. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. HuffPost. Okay. Yep.
LA Times. Trump's racism is a long tradition in American politics.
That's so weird
Republican.
that we got such different results the first time we tried this, and now we're getting the same ones. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't get it.
So
I
the reason
don't
why
get
we're
it at all.
confused is right before this we tested one question and it was is climate change real? And the results that I got that you guys saw is what I got the first time. But the first time Ryan searched it, he got some completely different results. Like every single result was different. So that's odd that it. I wonder if the question, if you even asking that question, is climate change real, changed your results closer to what mine are the second time.
Maybe. I don't know. Let's try another question, man.
Okay.
What says you?
Oh, let me look at our little list we've got. Maybe. Um, is coronavirus a hoax?
Okay.
Actually, let's type is COVID a hoax?
COVID hoax.
These questions don't necessarily mean that Ryan believes it's a hoax or we're opposed on this. These are just experimental questions. I just want to make sure that these aren't things that we necessarily agree or disagree on. We're just putting in questions.
Yeah, that's a video for another day.
Right. I just don't want people thinking that like we have an exact opinion on this either way and we're trying to debate that right now. We're really just doing a experiment on Google. Even right now my phone keeps vibrating and I keep wanting to like go over it. I could feel it. Okay, so what do you got?
They're the same actually. I got fact check Biden ad misleadingly suggests Trump called COVID a hoax. Man who believed virus was a hoax loses wife to COVID. So this is in BBC. Biden again. Then I have another one from the Chicago Tribune. Fact check: Joe Biden distorts President Trump's word on coronavirus hoax.
Wait, do I have that?
Uh, then another one actually from a government site. Oh yeah, you have it. It's like it's exactly the same.
Huh. Well, that's actually kind of good in my opinion that it's the same, whether these are all, good websites or not, but it's so weird that it was so different the first time. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what to reconcile, how to reconcile that because it just
I wish we had done that first one on video because it was so completely different, and now they're all the
yeah,
same.
it was almost like the results were kind of feeding into what a conservative would look up,
Yeah.
as opposed to somebody or someone who doesn't believe in climate change.
Hmm.
So
Maybe we.
very weird. Let's try a couple more and
Let's type in Antifa, just the word Antifa, and see what happens.
okay.
Dictionary definition.
By the ADL, yeah.
Well, at first I got like dictionary dot, this dictionary thing up here, but then yeah, ADL.
Washington Post, yeah. FBI, Antifa isn't an ideology, not
Not an organization. Five myths.
yeah,
Five. Yeah. Huh.
yeah. It's no, it got the same results, man.
That's weird. All right. Well, this is not exactly the way we were expecting that to go, but it was an experiment, so we didn't actually know what was going to happen before we did it. Um,
Let's type riots. See what comes up there.
Interesting. I got three Fox News stories at the top.
Yeah, I got the Fox News stories too.
I got these YouTube videos.
Yeah, I got a bunch of YouTube videos too. You got the one by Tim Pool? Yeah. I guess this is a little encouraging.
Either that or Google knows that we're trying to catch them.
Yeah, that's where my mind is going. I'm like,
Because the first one,
they know what we're trying to do.
yeah, because the first, I don't know, that's so weird that the first one was absolutely different on every single one. I mean, we scrolled down and we looked at all of them, and every result was different, and that's why we were like so excited to get into this. Interesting.
Yeah, I
Very
don't know.
interesting.
You want to try the news feeds?
Yeah, let's try that. You just want to click on news here?
No, no. I mean like the for like Facebook.
Oh yeah. Let's do that. All right. So we'll look down my Facebook here and see what it comes up with. Digital Digest. What we're really looking for here is like sponsored stuff, as well as how often certain, I guess, not so much like what our friends are posting, although that is part of it. You'll kind of see that in the documentary, but we're just kind of seeing what ads we're going to be getting. Oh, I'm going to move this so we can actually see my ads. Financing and funding guides. Submit your Canon memories. That's not really okay. So I got this thing, Digital Digest, about weird
I'm
foxes.
getting an ad for DraftKings, so football.
Yeah, you probably won't see any of those on my feed. I'm not like really a football fan, but I'm just
I'm
curious
not
if
either.
there are ads that are more like political stuff.
Yeah, I'm getting definitely political ads because I'm seeing stuff posted by the Daily Wire, Steven Crowder, some of the commentators I follow.
I got this. Make a donation to. What is this? This is an anti-Trump ad.
Oh, nice. I'm getting some nice pictures of an really delicious looking breakfast, but nothing here for ads.
It,
I'm getting something from Discern, but no like political ads from politicians.
this Midas Touch thing, I don't recall ever seeing it before. It's some kind of sponsored,
Hmm.
and it's basically asking me to chip in right now and get this aired on Fox News, and I'm obviously it looks anti-Trump. I'm just
Hmm.
guessing it looks anti-Trump because the first thing they did was show him like next to Epstein,
Oh,
and
and they want that on Fox News? That's a
yeah, they want to, try to sway people. I
Yeah,
got
I'm not seeing anything here that's really like crazy. I'm getting video game ads.
interesting.
Nothing wild.
I do follow some groups that are definitely on like the more liberal side, but here's a Planned Parenthood ad. So I am getting
Yeah.
a lot of at least two so far. But then I scroll, and it's my friends. I think that like they talk about in the documentary that they notice that if you're here's a Joe Biden ad.
Yeah, I don't get Joe Biden ads for sure. But I'm also not getting like Trump ads, but I'm getting a lot of like from like conservative commentaries, their stuff is popping up. But these are people I follow, so it makes sense.
Yeah. So like this one right here is someone I follow. But they also know how long you stay on things, and they try to the algorithm, the AI will try to cater things to you according to the documentary. So I'm not really interested so much in what my friends have posted. Although I think if they post things that are more like in line with what I think or what the AI thinks I think, then it'll try to put it on my feed. Uh, let's see.
Yeah, I'm not
Here's a
really
sponsor
seeing.
for a car giveaway, like a raffle.
Hmm. I wonder if the way they do the ads also differs if like you're somebody that's using like a PC because like obviously right now I'm using an
Or a
iPhone,
mobile. Yeah.
yeah, a mobile device. So I wonder if they tailor them a little bit differently due to that. I don't know.
This definitely does look a little bit different than my when I'm on my phone. I was just doing it on the PC mainly so we could actually see it. It's Tulsa remote.
Hmm.
Huh. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I think that it's really compelling that we did that initial search and it was so different. But you can see even like uh, this is actually I don't know. This guy Mark is one of my friends from the Army. I was in the Army for 6 years, then the Air Force for 7 years after that, and he's one of my Army buddies. He's always posting uh, like this website, Law Enforcement Today. It's it's a police, it's a pro police website, but in my opinion, it's like one of the craziest. It's one of those crazy conspiracy theory websites. Not
Hmm.
because it's pro police, but just because they post things that are clearly I don't know. It's crazy. But I keep him on my feed because I think it, and I keep him on my friends list because I think it's important not to unfriend people just because they're posting things that I don't necessarily agree with. Not that I don't even know what this article's about, but he often posts things that I'm like, dude, you gotta get out of the rabbit hole with this
Yeah.
with these
No,
websites.
I hear you, man. I'm also getting some like a lot of ads that are obviously geared more toward like a Christian. So I'm getting like ads for PureFlix. I'm getting ads for this I guess like event that this guy Jonathan Kahn's holding. So he's like a I guess like a end times guy. So those are some of the ads that I'm getting. So
Yeah, I'm not getting any Christian ads.
I think this makes a little bit more sense based on some of the things that we've liked that like the news feeds definitely make sense.
Yeah.
The Google searches don't make any sense to me, because even if if the algorithm is working the way that this documentary explains, I feel like my
It
searches should have been a little bit different.
it also could be that, like we said, you and I aren't actually all that different in our basic. We're not as different as people probably think we are in our debates. We just have different opinions on certain things. But we're also, when it comes down to political opinions on a lot of things, we're more middle. We're not as far left and as far right as a lot of people probably think we are, just based on those discussions. So
I actually
maybe
took one of those political personality tests, and I actually landed as a centrist.
I
So
do
oh,
as well,
that
all the
makes
time.
sense.
I'm a left leaning centrist on every single one that I've taken.
Hmm.
So maybe that's what it is. We're actually have more in common than we thought.
Yeah,
I don't know.
we can show them. Actually, we can show them one thing that we know for sure is sketchy that Facebook does. So I'm
Oh,
definitely someone
yeah,
that
let's do
does
that.
not like censorship.
Likewise.
Um, and I mentioned to Bob, and this actually popped up on the Joe Rogan experience. He was talking to Tim Pool, and Tim Pool was talking about a name he couldn't even say in his videos because if he said it, his video would get banned. He didn't even want to show Joe Rogan it on camera because he was concerned that if he mentioned the name or said it, that his video would be pulled. And then he went on to share that if you even type this name up, it just goes away immediately. So I actually told Bob about it, and I was like, "Hey, man, if you type this name up, it's going to be deleted. It's going to be removed automatically." You actually thought I was deleting it, so I actually had to like screen record to show him. No, dude, I'm not deleting it. It's
And then
Facebook is auto deleting it.
I tried it. I tried it on here. I tried it on Instagram, and maybe something else. Twitter, I think. I know for sure I tried this and Instagram, and it happened on both of them, and it was spooky.
Yeah,
And we'll show you right now if it's still happening. So we're gonna type in the name of this. What was he? A whistleblower?
Yeah, he's a whistleblower. It was really hard to kind of find like the full story on this guy. I'm a little concerned that like I hope their algorithm or how they view this isn't so sophisticated where they could tell that the name is even being shown. Like that would be crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
And this video gets pulled. That would not be fun.
Well, let's see what happens. So I'm just going to type the name itself and try to post it. This is going to be a post on my Facebook page. Posting, and it's there right now. But watch what happens. So this should be on my page. Watch what happens when I go to my page or I refresh the page. It'll be gone. But if we actually go to my page, no post.
It's gone. Yeah.
Let's try it again. Make sure I'm spelling it right. If you spell it wrong, it'll stay. We found that out as well. So let me make sure. Yep. I'm posting it to my page. There it is. It's a post right on my on my regular Facebook page, and it's public. Now I refresh the page, and it's gone.
Dude, that's so creepy.
That's very spooky. Now that's just typing his name. That's no context, nothing. It's not like I said Eric's whatever his name is. I'm not even gonna say it out loud. Is a good guy or he's a bad guy. I didn't say any context of any kind, just typed in a name, and it's not letting us do it. And if you guys Google who he is, there is a pretty interesting story behind it. I'm not exactly sure what's true and what's not, but obviously they don't want us talking about it on our Facebook posts.
And that alone for me is like seriously concerning, like that we can't even talk about this guy. And I started, man, just going like just thinking like, well, if they could do this with his name, then are they doing it with other names? Are there things that we're just completely not seeing because they they blot it out, and when people think they're posting about it or trying to make a statement about it, they're really not, just going into a black hole. Like
Right.
that's what's really concerning about me, is that they're at, we can see proof evidence right here in this video that they actually are actively censoring content.
Yep. With no context. They just don't want us talking about it in a public forum, at least not on their public forum. I think when I looked this guy up, the only place I could find, like the only major website I could find where people were allowed to even discuss him was Reddit. And I don't even know if that's still true. That was a while ago. So
Yeah,
it's
I
weird.
doubt it. I know too. It kept happening again on Instagram, YouTube. The name just gets pulled, and the videos are getting pulled too,
Hmm.
which is really really uncomfortable.
Yeah, if you have his name in the title, I don't even know if they pull this video. Our plan is to give you basically edit this little part out of the video, and I will post a link on to the video somewhere so that people can still see it, and it'll just be this part that got edited out, the part we were just talking about. Which,
Yeah,
yeah, if that got edited out, then we'll post the link for you guys. Yeah, so
it's creepy. So censorship's a real problem. So I guess just wrapping things up here. I definitely think that documentary had a lot to say. I think I'm a little sketched out over the fact that our results changed. That makes me a little bit uncomfortable, and
it's very
I'm not gonna
strange.
say like it knew, but part of me is like a little
Yeah,
weird, just a little weird.
because when we did it
Um,
off camera, it was doing exactly what we thought it was going to do, giving us different results. And as soon as I hit record, it started giving us the exact same results. That is kind of, I don't know if that's just a coincidence, but it is weird.
yeah, it's very weird. But we definitely know that they are using this technology against us, and to pit us against each other. And I think one of the things that we can take away from this video is that one, we can have conversations like this with other people that see the world a little bit differently than us. And I encourage you guys to have those conversations, maybe as uncomfortable as some of them are, and resist the urge to delete people or unfriend people or block people who don't
Cancel
see the
people.
world the same way that you do.
Yeah. Let's, I think cancel culture is definitely harmful. And I think that it is partially unintentionally by people, but definitely being driven by the AI that is controlling what you see and what you click on, using your dopamine sensors against you.
Yeah, yeah, they wanna push us further and further away from each other. They wanna that you know they want this divide between us. And you want to know what? I wish it were for something like more nefarious. I don't think it's as nefarious as like we want to think. I think they just want to make money
Yeah,
and sell
that's what it's all
ads.
about. The
You know?
AI was designed to make those ads happen, and it just so happens that the more divided we are, the more we're on our devices. The more we're on our devices, the more ad revenue that the AI makes for the major companies. That's all it is, and that to me, that's frightening and sad that it's doing such a
Yeah.
good job.
And most of us are just unaware of it too. We're just unaware of it, and I think we just need to resist that urge. I mean, kind of resist those impulses, because I've been there. I mean, I've seen posts that have just got me upset. I was like,
Likewise.
I'm tired of seeing this person, but I'm like, wait, no, like no, it's necessary. It's helpful. It helps me stay informed. It helps me see another point of view. And then also just having like real conversations with people, I think, is also important,
Right.
because even the internet, so a lot of people do think we don't like each other because they're only reading comments, and they're only really reading a segment of like much broader conversations that we have in regard to specific issues, and that's not the whole picture. So we're always just seeing like a tiny little snippet of the broader picture. And I think we need to kind of push beyond that and look beyond that, and just be aware of how this system and social media is really just meant to divide us by design. I mean, it's doing what it was programmed to do. It's following its code.
Yeah. And it's learning how to do it better and better and better, and there's no control over it. That's the scary. I'm telling you guys, go watch that documentary. after you're done watching this, and you will see exactly what we're talking about. We're actually kind of underplaying it. It's really bad.
Yeah. And
So
I actually, I think that when I finished watching that film, I really like, I'm an optimist. I was not really optimistic because it kind of like didn't seem like there was like a plan in place to take care of this. I'm like, if there's no plan in place, how do we overcome this? And the only thing that I can really think of right now is just taking kind of personal responsibility for how we engage, because I don't think it's going to slow down anytime soon. And I can't say uninstall all of your social media, shut your phones off, because I feel like that's unrealistic. But at the same time, we got to be aware of how this impacts us and our kids. Because honestly, I don't even think we really know, and won't know for many years from now, how it is affected and impacted the next generation or the current generation.
the current generation
Very,
that's
very
grown
scary
up,
stuff.
that there are kids using social media and the internet right now, and these AI systems that are in place that have been learning for years are actually older than the kids using it. That's crazy. Like, we grew up before these stuff was invented, and we know what that was like. But they've been working on us. Now we've got kids who are, from the time they're born, these AIs are working on their lives for whatever purpose that the AI is. It's scary.
Yeah, we still actually remember a time too where we can kind of get away from this. Like our computer was a desktop. We'd come in, we'd log on. We'd load up AOL,
Hmm.
wait to get connected to the internet. But then when we were done, it was not in our hands. It was not with us all the time. And that's an advantage that we had that this current generation and future generations will not have, because their phones are always with them. And as technology gets more sophisticated, I mean, you're going to start to see it be more integrated into our lives, as opposed to us being able to kind of
Yeah,
disconnect.
it's definitely not going to get less. It's going to get more and more and continue. And the AI is going to get better and better at what it does. It's constantly learning. It's humongous rooms full of super fast supercomputers that are constantly working this 24 hours a day. So
Hmm.
yeah,
All right, man. Hey, Bob, I appreciate you coming on my show, man.
that's
I'm
nice.
glad that we got to talk. I'm glad that people can see that we don't hate each other. I don't hate you, man.
Yeah.
I think you're cool. And and
And
one day when California isn't burning, I'd even like to to link up with you in person and
absolutely.
talk about a lot of things that we talk about on a day-to-day basis. Do you have any final thoughts? Anything that you want to share before we end?
No, I think that pretty much gets the idea across. I think that it was a little anticlimactic that our results were the same when once we got turned the video on, but just keep in mind that before we did that, they were completely different. So weird, but it was an experiment. Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, yeah, no problem, man. Talk to you soon.
All
Bye,
right.
everybody. Deuces.